Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing okay. This is the third week of my free Instagram workouts for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So today what I want to go through is a bit of an introduction to strength training after a cancer diagnosis. So this can probably feel a little bit scary, probably the area that people that I work with need most support in. So I want to give you a little bit of guidance. Obviously this guidance tends to be a little bit more general because I'm working with you not on a one-to-one basis. So please make sure you seek your own support that will help you support you for your own personal needs. If you want to take part today, you just need to have the okay from your oncology team. And just to note that you are taking part at your own risk, just because I can't see you on the other end of the screen. So today I'm going to use some really basic equipment just to demonstrate strength-based moves, good form, but also how you can progress those moves as you start to get stronger. So some of the basic strength moves are based on everyday movement. So things that you do on a daily basis, like getting out of a chair, picking up something from the floor, and you use different types of muscles, and sometimes your body can become a little bit disconnected from those muscles when you have trauma, such as surgery, and you become protected of that area. So your brain turns off those pathways that you want to send messages to the muscles that really should be working. So part of exercising after cancer is just to reconnect with those pathways, reconnect with those muscles, and just make sure you're more aware of the ones that you should be using. So after cancer, strength training should become really important if you can make it and make time for it. A couple of times a week, just 20 minutes, and you can just use your body weight if you want to start with that. It's really straightforward. You don't need much equipment, a resistance band, some bean tins. I'm going to use a broomstick today as well to demonstrate some of the other moves, and we will get started. So we're going to start with a warm-up. Big arm circles or shoulder rolls, starting to bend the knees. Take deep breaths in. So warm up and cool down, really important. Your body needs that extra extended warm up and cool down post-cancer treatment, or if you're still going through treatment. And we're going to switch to reaching up and over. Can't believe it's still almost dark outside. It's getting shorter days very quickly. That's it, start to add a little bit of bounce to that. Hello, if you're just joining. Next move, I want you to kick your heels up towards your bottom. So we're working through the knees, into the front of the quads, at the front of the legs, and then we're going to add in our draw back of the elbows to open up the chest. This is a dynamic warm-up, a moving warm-up to help raise the heart rate. So my aim of today is to make you feel a little bit more confident in getting started with strength training. Get my words out. And take your opposite elbow or your hand to your knee. So we're starting to stretch through the lower back into the glutes. Good. Keep that going. 3, 2, and last one. And then I want you to just put one heel onto the ground here. So you just anchor that heel and then sweep over that leg. And then switch over, anchor the other heel onto the ground and hinge forward. Oh, I've got a squeak. And last one. Good work. We're just going to break down a very simple walk just to continue our warm up. So we'll start with the knees. I want you to hold the hands in front here, and you're going to lift one leg at a time up towards those towards those hands. So thinking about the lift of the knee, and in doing that you should be drawing in the abdominals to help lift. Relax the shoulders. And then we're going to do the hand and the arm side. So this time, drawing the arms backwards and forwards, slight hinge from the waist. Getting those shoulders warmed up. Three, two, and one. Well done. Just shake out for me. And we are going to start with our very first move. If you're just getting cracking and you've got a little bit of balance, or you've got knee problems, osteoporosis, or anything where your knees trouble you, I'd suggest using a chair for this one. And we're going to start with the simplest of moves, which is getting out of a chair, also known as a squat. So we start with our feet hip width apart. I'll demonstrate how to come out of a chair in a second. Hip width apart, so your ankles are kind of over your hip bone width. And we are going to use our pole just to help keep our chest up. So I push my bottom back like I've got an invisible chair behind me, and then exhale and come back up to standing and lower the hands. What you're looking for here is trying to keep the knees parallel with the feet and not allowing them to go further than the toes. So it's about sitting the hips back into the chair and then coming back up again. So if you're happy with that one, please keep going. If you're in a chair, I want you to start in the chair with your feet hip width apart, reach forward and then come up to standing. Then lower yourself back down again and stand back up. So keep that going. We're going to do 12 reps here, and then I'm going to show you how you can progress the move or change the move to target different muscles. So keep that going. I always use my breath, my out breath on the effort, so that's coming out of the chair or standing back up from the squat. And we're going to do one more here. Well done. So for our second round, I'm going to change the tempo ever so slightly. So changing the tempo of a move means that the muscles are going to stay under tension for a little bit longer. So as we come down or as we come up, we're going to count for 2. So 1, 2, and then back 1, 2. So taking it nice and slowly this time. 1, 2, and 1, 2. If you want to add weight to this, you can rest it on your shoulders, on your collarbones here. That's how you progress it nice and slow. If you're using a bar, you can have it on your shoulders here or in front here. But this in itself is using your full body weight. So it's good for strengthening the knees and all the muscles around it. Remember your breath, your out breath on the way up. So changing that tempo is going to make it feel a little bit harder. So if you don't have weights, that's a way to progress your move. And last one. Good work. So we're not going to go through the next one today for 12 reps, but just to demonstrate how you can change the target muscle, is you can turn the toes out, take the legs wider. So you're doing almost like a sumo squat or a second position ballet squat, but making sure that those knees track over the feet, but don't go further than the toes. Good work. So that is our squat. That's coming out of the chair. Us PTs, we love squats. Brilliant moves. And in its simplest form, getting in and out of the chair. Bro, grab yourself a quick sip of water if you want it now. Our next move is a hinge. So I'm going to use the pole for this one. If you want extra weight, you can hold it in your hands as I'm holding the pole here. If you've got back issues, please be careful with this one because it is a bend forward. So what we're going to do is stand with the feet hip width apart. I'm going to use my pole to push it down the fronts of my legs as I push my bottom back behind me. The pole ends just below the knees where my back is nice and flat and almost level with the ground. Not level with the ground, but you know what I mean, parallel to the ground. And then I come back up again. I'm using my bottom to do this move. There's no rounding of the shoulders here. It's a hinge. So the whole of the upper body is hinging from the hips and then I come back up to standing. So go for it when you're ready. It's a nice slow and controlled move, particularly on the way down. Come down and exhale up. Come down and exhale up. So things to think about when you're doing this one is that flat back. It's a good one to do in front of a mirror or a window pane or something like that. You can also practice it using a wall behind you, so you're pushing your bottom into the wall and then coming back up again. And you're going to be imagining, if I had a logo on the front of my t-shirt here, I'm showing it to the person opposite me. So that's a good way to think about it. So this is targeting a lot of muscles, but those glutes in your bottom are going to be helping you come back up to standing. And this is a hinge from the hips, not from the knees. So it's not a squat, it's a hinge here. My knees are slightly bent, but they're not bending further as I hinge forward. 3 more. And last one. Good work. So a bit like the squat, we can change the tempo of that one. One of my favourite tempos is a 3 down and a 1 up. So coming back into your position, feet hip width apart, slight bend in the knee, begin to hinge forward, but we're going to count 3 down. 1, 2, 3, and then 1 up. So it's not too explosive, but it's a little bit more powerful on the way up. 1, 2, 3, and up. Good. 1, 2, 3, and up. Good. So you should start to feel your core working a little bit harder on that one with the exhale on the effort. So as you're coming up, 1, 2, 3, and up. Well done. Keep it going. 2, 3, and up. 1, 2, 3, and up. 2 more. 2, 3, and up. And 1, 2, 3, and up. Good work. Okay, so if you need it, grab a quick drink. I'm going to come back to you with a move where you need some bean tins or some water bottles or dumbbells. If you're getting started and you've had surgery on your chest, you can keep sticking with your broomstick because we are going to go over the head for these first ones. So the next movement, strength movement, is a push. So you might have heard people going to the gym saying, I'm doing a push-pull workout today. And basically, in its simplest terms, is where you're putting your weight. So if you're pushing something up above your head or you're pushing your body weight away like a press up, that is a push movement. So I'm going to give a couple of examples of push movements. So please take the weight light if you're just getting started. Our first push movement is an overhead press. So I'm going to keep my elbows narrow for this one, my palms facing into my ears. Slight tuck under the pelvis just to engage the core, and with an exhale, pushing the weights up above the head. Remember, you've got the option to do this one at a time or with your pole or broomstick just for the movement. So push up and lower down. Exhale in the effort, so that's up. Inhale on the way down. work. We're going to stay here for 12, so we're on 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and last one. Well done. Good work. I'm going to show you another push movement that you can do, and you can use a wall for this if you feel comfortable. So if you're getting started, particularly after breast cancer, and you want to do something like a press up, standing press ups against a wall is a good way to get started. Make sure your hands are relatively low, they're not right up here, and your elbows are coming out diagonally. So you can start with that one, or if you've got a resistance band, you can take it behind your back at around bra level, hold on to the ends of the band, slight split stance with the feet here, turn the palms down, and we can do exactly the same, pushing that band forward. So grab your position, and let's go with this second push move, working the chest and the shoulders. Good. This is a good way to start working the chest. If you've got a light resistance band, the movement so we're pushing that resistance away. 9, 10, 11, and last one. Good work. So that gives you 2 push moves. So we targeted the top of the shoulders with our overhead press, and we targeted a bit more pectoral and shoulders with our chest press there. Okay? Brilliant. Grab yourself a quick drink if you want it. And our 4th move, we'll come back to the pull, I promise, is going to be a lunge. Now this fills people with dread, and I'm going to demonstrate some ways that we can start to progress the lunge. The lunge is a really good move to help with things like stair climbing. It really strengthens the legs, but it can be quite difficult. So I use my pole for balance, or you can use the back of the chair for balance if you're just getting started. And the key here is to make sure you've got good width between the feet, because that's going to help with your balance. If you're kind of standing on a tightrope, that's where we start to wobble a little bit. And you don't need to lower that back knee quite as far as I'm going to go in my first one. So just go as far as you feel comfortable. So coming close to my chair or my pole, I'm going to take a big step back with one leg. Make sure width-wise I've got a good width between my feet. Then I lower my back knee. I'm not coming too far forward, I'm lowering my back knee, keeping my upper body upright. So I'm creating like a 90-degree angle with that back leg, and around a 90-degree angle with that front leg. Then I straighten up again and step back in. I'm going to stick to the same side for 6. So take this at your own pace, and if you can't go as low as me, that's fine. If you're just getting started, just bend as low as you feel comfortable and then push back up. So a good way to help with that front leg is to push through the front heel, activating the glute in the bottom, and that will help you power the leg back up. If you don't need the pole, take it away. If you want to progress, you can hold weights in either hand, but body weight on this one is often sufficient. 2 more. And last one. Well done. So step in, make sure you've got that width between the feet, and we're going to go to the other side this time. So find your position with the leg out, make sure you're comfortable, and then lower the back knee. Come back up and step in. So I'm breaking this move down into 4 steps. I'm stepping out, I'm lowering the back knee, I'm straightening up, and then I'm stepping back in. As you progress, you might find you can do one smooth move, but just take it at your own pace. last one. Well done. Good work. So that is the simplest form of lunge. What we're going to do is change the direction of the lunge. So that's how you can target slightly different muscles. I'm going to put my pole down for this one. So lateral movement, sideways movement, we can create a side lunge. So I'm going to start with my legs wide. If you push your weight into one knee, so my feet are parallel, push my weight into one knee, push my hips back, that's a side lunge. Okay, so if we stay there with the feet wide, that's a good way of getting started. I'm going to stick to the same side, coming in and out of that lunge. If you've been going for a while, you can step back in and step out. That obviously creates more impact through the knee joint. But if you're just getting started, keep the legs with that good width between them and just practice transferring the weight over to that side. And one more. Well done. So we're going to switch over, do the other side. If you were stepping, come over to the other side of your mat, and we're going to transfer that weight there. So here we're targeting a little bit more of the inner thigh because we're moving sideways. You're still feeling your quads working here on this leg. Last one. Well done. So that's a change in direction. There's lots of different forms of lunging. A curtsy lunge, targeting the glute a little bit more, but in its basic form, those are some two good examples. Well, I know I'm racing through this, so grab a quick sip of water and we're going to finish with our pull move. So this is in comparison to the push where we're pushing the weight away. This is where we're pulling the weight towards us. So lots of pulley machines in the gym tend to be a little bit more pull if you're facing them, push if you're facing away from them. So for this, I'm going to use a resistance band. If you don't have one, you can use weights. And I'm going to demonstrate two moves, particularly good for the upper back if your posture's been affected by surgery to the chest. With my band, I'm going to stand on the middle with both feet and then come into this bent over position. So this is where I'm pushing my bottom out again, pulling my shoulders back. If you're using weights, come into the same position. Hold your weights in front here with palms facing each other. We're going to row back. So I'm pulling my elbows back, not up, back, keeping them tucked in, finishing just around my hip bone. I can't quite pull my very strong resistance band that far, but that's where I should be finishing. Targeting the big muscle in the upper back, so the shoulder blades are really pulling together as I pull my elbows back. So if you're using weights, you're doing exactly the same movement. If you're feeling at all strained in the lower back, think about drawing in your belly button, turning on your bottom, helping you support your back. If it becomes too much, please come back up to standing. So you can do this one seated with the band round your feet, rowing back. One more. Good work. Just an option if you found that tough on the back. You can do one arm at a time. So having a chair in front of you, taking the same leg back and rowing that way. Just gives you an alternative so you can do one arm at a time, a little bit less pressure on the back. So that's our first pull move. One of my other favourites with the resistance band this time is above the head. So you take the band up above your head and you pull wide and down to the chest. So if you've ever been in the gym, there's a big bar that you can pull down here, still targeting the upper back, but you can do it with a resistance band at home. Release the tension ever so slightly as you come back up and then pull wide and down as you come down. This is one of my favourite moves. Those who train with me regularly will know. Postural correction, but also just really nice post-breast cancer surgery, or anyone who has issues with posture. Keep that chest proud. Two more. And last one. Very good. So that gives you 2 examples of pull moves. So sometimes you can create, sorry, question, would this be published to watch later? Yes, it will be. So you can create a workout thinking about which muscles might work together. So a push of the chest and a pull of the upper back, those 2 work in sync. So thinking about as you're doing a workout, that's how I try and design my workout, so muscles complement each other. But working through those 5 different basic strength principles will really help you start to build your strength. And remember, body weight at the moment, as you're getting started, is enough. If you need to use something for balance to begin with, as you build up that strength, also really good. But as you start to progress, just start to take that balance away ever so gently and ever so slightly, and you'll get there. So I'm going to cool you down. What you want to do is take that leg back into that anchored position, so putting the heel down. And this time we're going to do a static stretch, so we're holding the stretch. Lean over the bent leg and feel the stretch down the back of the hamstring. So I hope that was a helpful introduction at getting you started to strength training, and switch over. There's a lot more. Some of the other workouts that I've done have been a little bit more advanced, so you can give those a go if you're just getting started. And I would like, sorry, just reading the messages. And then bring a heel in here, knees together. If you can't do that, use the back of a chair to rest your foot on. Stretching the front of the quad. And then switching over, other side. Oh, I'm glad this was helpful. Good. And we're going to push our arms away here, rounding the shoulders, dropping the head between the arms. And then take those arms up into the sky, reaching high, bringing them wide, coming back in front, pushing the hands away, dropping the head between the arms, pushing up to the sky and opening, this time holding that chest open, pushing the chest forward. And finish as we started, rolling the shoulders, circling the arms. Well done, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me early doors. This will be published afterwards on my feed, so please take a look. Any questions that you've got, just give me a shout and I hope I can help. Have a brilliant day and well done for getting up so early, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.